we are moving very close to LABSCA, and we will definitely let people know. But apart from this headquarters, we have other offices. We have about 21 offices within Lagos State, and we have the divisions. We've divided into 7 groups, and we have the Ikeja, which we have 2 Ikejas, one Ikeja here and the other one in Alimosho. We have Badagry, we have Ikorodu, divided into 2 as well, Ikorodu area, and also this Shomolu area. Then we have Lagos Island, which is Eko as a whole, and then we have Ekpe. Ekpe is from Victoria Island down to Ekpe. So we are divided into 7, and each division we have office, and from there we have zonal offices. So we have lots of offices. But the headquarters, definitely we are moving from here. We are moving to a big place.
Now let's talk about the issue of funding, because there's so much to be done here as an agency that's talking about LABSCA. How well is the agency funded from all what you've been talking about so far?
Yeah, I think the government is trying their best. Yes, we are still, we get there. We're getting there. I believe that the government, they will furnish us more with that. Yes, we really trust our government.
Now, earlier on, you talked about monitoring of buildings, which LABSCA carries out. Now, I want to find out, does it also include federal buildings, buildings in Lagos State, federal and state buildings put together? Does it include the federal ones as well?
Well, what I would say is that any building whatsoever in Lagos State land is managed by Lagos State, whether federal or not. We manage, because even the federal government buildings, like if you have a federal government approval, you have to regularize. So because it's still on Lagos State land, we manage everything. Any building in Lagos State manage. And when I say Lagos State, Badagry, Ekpe, Ikorodu, they're all under Lagos State. We manage everything. Whether it's Lagos State's owned properties, whether it's federal government owned, we manage everything.
Now, I asked that question because oftentimes many people say whenever policies or jobs needed to be done by any state, not just in Lagos State, and if it affects federal, is there going to be some kind of synergy? Will there not be a clash of roles or conflict between the two? How does Lagos State, work with the other federal agencies, in trying to carry out its duties, making sure that we don't have issues of collapsed buildings or structural problems here in Lagos?
Well, I would say the synergy, I would say about the Standard Organization of Nigeria. Yes, we had a workshop together last year, and we promised to be working together, and if we have any issue, we call each other. And there are some other buildings, like when we have some people, they do have federal government approval, then we have to ask them to go and regularize, and if there's any issue with the federal government, like all those police stations, barracks, they are all federal government owned properties. So we write our report and we send it to our commissioner, and then they deal with it on federal level. So the most important thing is that when we identify buildings that belong to federal government, our own is to do our own job and just pass it to the authority, and they can take it over and liaise with the federal government, because they have lots of dangerous structures. Most especially all their barracks, they are really dangerous. I can tell you about this Ikeja one is very, very bad, and people are still living there. I believe we have written our own report and we sent it up, so it's now up to them to do something about it. But we will not leave it for someone to die, and that because it's part of Lagos State, and we must make sure we do something about it. I know that sometimes they harass us, even to go there. To go there is a big problem, because they will ask us what do we want. So sometimes when we go, we have to hide ourselves, because they shouldn't see us even taking pictures. And I'm sure a lot of things are happening there which they don't even report to us, but we know, because we have some people that will say, look, something just happened now. And to my knowledge, federal government should do something about it. We don't want to lose anybody's life. Most especially in Lagos State, we don't want any death concerning building collapse. Our governor is a very hardworking person, and he does not even want to hear one single person die. Nobody should die. That's the reason why we are here, and we must do the job.
Now, we know in Lagos State there are so many abandoned structures here, and talk about federal, talk about the state. What is the agency doing in trying to ensure that we solve the issue of abandoned buildings?
Yeah, well, all the abandoned structure, because we normally, number one, we have to define what do you mean by abandoned. Because abandoned structures, means that, they've been there for so long. Abandoned structure means, you have abandoned it maybe for 3-4 years, you've not even been there, and all the grass grown, all the blocks were, damaged. So then we can call it abandoned. And then what do we do about them? We've already, I think we've compiled a list of abandoned buildings. And this list has been even publicized. Like if you have a building or a structure abandoned for so long, or you go and do something about it, or we pull it down. So that has been, I'm sure everybody has gotten a message about that. But anywhere we see abandoned building and it's dangerous, we remove immediately. Any dangerous abandoned structure will be removed. Why? Because we've found that people are even living in abandoned structure. There is one example I will give in First Stack area. This is an ongoing concern, abandoned. Because people can't afford just building at once. So they leave it, they do stage, and then they leave it, and they do. Unfortunately, this building collapsed. And we were not even aware people were there. 3 people were there, 3 men. It was second day when we got a contractor to go and remove the debris and clear the place that we found 3 men inside. So that is the reason why what abandoned structure we want to remove immediately. Because we don't, people sometimes live in that, the squats there. And all these miscreants and all these people doing a lot of things, they are hiding in the abandoned structure, and we don't want it. We want Lagos to be safe. So we get rid of any abandoned structure that we think dangerous to people.
Now, Madam, you talked about sensitization or enlightenment campaigns and workshops that the agency has been doing for quite a while now. I just want to find out, is there going to be more of those? What are your plans for the future?
Since we, I think since last year, we have been going around for roadshow, going around because we have about 21 zones. We go around every Thursday. We used to do that. And then we also hold stakeholders meeting. The last one we had was last Thursday, where we were in Ikorodu. And it was a very successful meeting where we had lots of people that joined us. And we are moving now to Ekpa area to hold the stakeholders meeting. And from there, we move into another place. So every month we want to sensitize, apart from the weekly one we do every Thursday, but meeting with people, with stakeholders, we are doing that almost monthly, I will call it. And, we will let people know, because we will advertise, we want people to join us, and also holding the workshop and training. Because most developers, I would say they have the money, but sometimes they don't have the knowledge of construction. We want to even educate them what to look for. Because there was one building that we removed, and the person that gave that job to a contractor was not even aware that what the person was doing wasn't really good. Until we went there and we were saying, look at what he used, look at what he did, and said he didn't know that that the person was doing a bad job. So we want people to know, if you are just going to give somebody your money, we want you to have the knowledge of what they're doing. So that's the reason why we want to do the training, the workshop, to let people know what they need to look for. And that's the reason why we have the stage inspection and certification, so that we can do the stage inspection and we can give you on each stage of your construction, give you the certificate that yes, the foundation has been done according to the specification and according to the good quality and according to the standard they will be expected to be. And then we issue a stage certification for that foundation. Then when you want to move to another stage, then you give us a call, then we do another one. So until you finish. When you finish, then we give you a certificate for fitness for habitation.
I guess this is where we have to draw the curtain, Dr. Abimbola Odunayo. We thank you so much for spending time with us on Question Time, and we wish you well as the General Manager of LABSCA.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
So there you've heard it from the General Manager of LABSCA. Now, the agency, according to her, has indeed come to stay, and it will be in the interest of the people of Lagos and indeed all Nigerians to take the agency serious and work together along with all stakeholders, talking about developers or owners, to ensure that existing and new buildings, be it state or even federal, are in the best conditions for people to live and work in. And most importantly, Lagosians must now take the time out to learn about the State Urban and Regional Planning and Development Law of 2010 in order to do what is expected of them. Well, that's our package for this week. Do remember to send us your questions, comments, and suggestions to questiontime@channelstv.com, or you can also watch us online via channelstv.com. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Till we come your way again next week. It's bye for now.